always have Claire in demonstrations. I never get asked. Why don't they ask me?
Well, Zoe, it's really hard when we feel like we're being overlooked, huh? And I understand your desire to be used and to do more. And Dad and I are also very proud of you for wanting to do more. I'm concerned, though, that you may have bad feelings toward Claire because she's used when you want to be. This reminds me a little bit of the situation Jonathan found himself in. Do you remember who he was? We learned about him during our family worship a while ago.
He was King Saul's son and David's friend. He helped David.
That's right. Why don't we get our Bibles and look up 1 Samuel 23:16. Would you read that?
Sure. Jonathan, the son of Saul, now rose up to Horesh, that he might strengthen his hand in regard to God.
So, why did Jonathan go see David?
To strengthen him.
That's right. And did you know that that could have been a difficult thing for him to do?
They were friends, so why would that be hard? That's what friends do.
Well, that is true, but there may have been more going on between them. Let's look over and continue on in verse 17 and 18. And he went on to say to him, "Do not be afraid, for the hand of Saul my father will not find you, and you yourself will be king over Israel, and I myself shall become second to you. And Saul my father also has knowledge to that effect." Then the two of them concluded a covenant before Jehovah, and David kept dwelling in Horesh, and Jonathan himself went to his own home. So, did you see here where it says, "You yourself will be king over Israel, and I myself shall become second to you"? Do you know what being second to someone means?
Maybe like being behind someone like in line?
Well, that is an excellent way to visualize it, Zoe. When Jonathan told David he would be second to him, it meant that he would support him in becoming the king of Israel. Now, Jonathan's dad Saul was the king, and normally Jonathan would have become the next king after his dad. But here we read that he's supporting David to become the next king. Do you remember why Jonathan was not going to be king?
King Saul became a bad king and stopped serving Jehovah.
And that's right. So Saul was being punished by Jehovah, but this punishment also affected Jonathan. And that could have been a very hard thing to deal with. How might you have felt in his situation?
It doesn't seem fair, so maybe I would get mad and feel bad.
Well, we could definitely understand if Jonathan got mad and became jealous of David. But instead, Jonathan said he would be second to David. And that must have taken a lot of humility. Do you know what humility means?
Not exactly.
Well, it means being modest and respectful. You probably think of being modest in the way we dress.
Yeah.
But we can also be modest in our behavior. If we're modest in how we think, we don't think too much of ourselves. Thinking that we are better than someone else would definitely not be modest or respectful.
Oh, we should think of other people as equal to us.
Well, that is an excellent thought. You know, Jonathan was older, and he had more experience than David, but humility helped him to see that David had Jehovah's blessing, and he did not think more of himself than he should. He understood that what Jehovah expected of him, and he accepted Jehovah's decision. Now, do you think there's a way that you could apply Jonathan's example of humility to your situation?
I understand what you are saying. I should be happy for any public place Claire has and not be jealous. I guess I will work on humility.
That's a good girl.
Thank you, Sisters Luke. I really appreciated how your setting